So, but why? What's the whole deal about pineapple? Everyone not liking pineapple on pizza because you love it. I mean, I actually don't mind it, but it's not like my go-to.
It's good.
What's the controversy?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I think the problem is that they think it's gonna the sweetness is gonna overtake. Cause that's what I thought. I thought the sweetness was gonna overtake the flavor of the dough and the flavor of the sauce. Mm-hmm. But I also thought kind of the texture of the pineapple itself was gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But when I actually tried it, I was kind of surprised because it barely really messed with the flavor, and when you bite into it, the pineapple basically melds with the dough, and it's basically like you're eating it, and it's like you don't even know it's a pineapple.
He already knows.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I don't avoid the aloha for the pineapple. I avoid it for the onions because I'm not an onion dude.
Yeah, I'm not onion. So does onion belong on pizza? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Really?
Put whatever you want on a pizza. Yeah. On we kind of feel like the dough. I put Nutella on that dough. I actually made one because we were going to an event and they're like, hey, our dessert truck can't make it. Do you guys do any kind of desserts? And at that time I was like, no, but I can make something. Mm-hmm. So I Pinterested something really quickly, and there was a pie that had Nutella and it had strawberries on it and some fresh basil.
So it's pretty much like a dessert. Yeah.
It was delicious. Mm-hmm. And people were loving it.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jose Cruz. Yes, your favorite Native American. And don't mind me. I'm eating some delicious pizza. And I'm super excited about this because I'm not going to have no etiquette. I'm eating with my mouth full. Y'all can see some food because you guys are missing out. I'm telling you right now. My man, we are in season 3, still here podcasting. And so far, we've been killing it. Leave it to me to start a season, man, in the holidays where everyone's busy. But you know me, I stay busy. I'm always supporting people, supporting local businesses, content creators, and just having a good time with the show, the podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this, set your notifications. You know, we shot season 2, season 1. All our pilot episodes have been doing great, getting downloads. But today, I want to tell you, we have some special guests. We have the family from Marcelinos Pizza. Man, it's good to have you guys here. How you guys doing?
Hi.
I'm glad we finally made
Thank
it.
Thank you for having us.
We've been wanting to be here.
I know it's been a minute because we've been trying to get you guys coming on, and just like life, you get busy.
Right.
You know, and our businesses get busy and stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, so now let's get to know us. Tell you who you guys are. Introduce yourselves, and let's just get right into it. So introduce yourself.
Marcelino Garcia. I'm from Madeira. Lived from Madeira for a long time, just started this wood fire pizza business all of a sudden.
Nice. Nice. Go ahead and introduce
I'm Diane Garcia, his better half.
Yeah, I'll rock with that.
And I'm his partner in this business, Marcelino's Wood Fire Pizza. And we're both from Madeira, born and raised.
Cool.
And this is our son.
What about you, little man?
My name is Marcelino Garcia Jr., or as I am now known as MJ.
MJ, yeah, I gave you that, MJ. As I know him now, MJ.
I am, I'm basically the mascot. Nah.
A good-looking mascot, I would say.
But, I'm the son.
And our daughter she wasn't able to make it tonight, and she's out there. Shout out to her, Lauren.
Give her a shout out,
Lauren Garcia.
I wish you were here, girl.
Yeah,
I wish you were here. Get the whole family here. But I know, let's get right into it. I mean, you guys showed up today, man, and we've been eating your pizza, been just tearing it up. Let's kind of get to know you before we get into the whole pizza, the whole business, the awesomeness of what you guys put out. Let's kind of get to know you guys as far as you guys obviously grew up here in the Central Valley, from Madeira, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are from Madeira,
right?
And what'd you guys do before the business? What'd you guys do before this?
What we still do.
Yeah, what you still do?
I'm a math teacher at Sherman Thomas Charter High School in Madeira.
Okay.
And I teach freshmen, sophomore, juniors up to Algebra 2.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing for.
This is day job.
My day job. And. But, I've been kind of all over. I was raised in Detroit, Texas, Mexico, and back here in the valley when I got to about junior high or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. What about you, Diane?
Yeah, born in Madera, graduated from Madera High School, and we actually went to school together. That's another story, but anyways,
Get into that.
another podcast for another time. Yeah. And so yeah, just same thing. Graduated and traveled a lot, and I got into working with broadcasting and TV, and in my 20s and school, coming out of college, and did that for many, many years. And now I find myself at 50 years old making
girl.
pizza.
Come on.
Slinging pies, pizza pies in the wood-fired pizza oven. So, but we're having a blast.
I bet, because again, to hear that, you're a math teacher, you've got a broadcast, because we've worked at the same station.
Yeah.
Not at the same time, but we know we have that connection,
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of like when I first met you guys. When me and my family met you guys, we were like floored by it because we love pizza.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love pizza?
Right?
If you don't love pizza, you need to get smacked. It's like seriously, with pizza. But one of the things I love about when I met you guys is just the whole family, or the business is based on family. Like your shirt, God Family Pizza.
That's what it's all about for us.
And then because we're getting to know. I don't want to like tell you like you guys tell me like your bank account number, personal social security number. I don't want to do that. I do mess around, man. But let's get into that. What started the business? What I just want to make pizza. Is that something you guys were?
Well, we used to do a lot of camping with good friends of ours, and we'd go and we. This guy was like Mr. Pizza addict here, and so we were, we were like giving him pizza from all these different places, and then I really wanted to find something that we knew exactly what was put into a pizza. And so when we got to start camping, one day she bought me a pizza oven to make pizza. So
A camping pizza oven,
pizza
for Father's Day.
Yeah.
So that way we can
so
make
then
it when we
I'll
went
make
camping.
pizzas, so I'll make them. So I did my first one, and it was
Horrible.
Not pretty. It wasn't pretty at all.
It was horrible.
It was a good first start.
Yeah. And I'm going to get this right. So I started playing with it for a long time. So
About 12 years or so,
later.
Really?
12 years, yeah. It took 12 years to just get it to where I felt like
A lot of backyard family get-togethers with that oven. That oven has some mileage on it. That little oven I bought him.
Yeah.
And we still have it to this day. And he just really wanted to get into that dough process and learn how to make a good pizza pie. And so we were watching every YouTube video, going to every pizza joint you could possibly think of, at least in California, right? Yeah.
Really?
Just trying different, famous pizza places and just really becoming these big pizza connoisseurs. And every book we could, get our hands on, he'd get that, for a Father's Day present or birthday present or whatever. And he would just dive into it. I knew he could do it if he just put his mind to it and he liked it. So that's pretty much what he'd been doing.
So I tried different flours, mixes, and different strategies. And, you look at everybody, then you're like, wait a minute. Let's take a look at the best. Who's the best? And let's watch what they're doing. Because that's, you just where you go to learn, So
Definitely.
that's what I've been just trying to keep an eye on these experts that have been around for a long time.
That's where you learn.
Yeah, and it's been good. It's been great. They've been really good to watch them and see what they're doing and how they were able to just grow. So it's been a really blessing for us to watch that.
Well, I mean, you see it, or you taste it. You see the, the sweat equity.
Yeah,
there's a lot of love that goes into those pies. Definitely, we talked about that before we started this little adventure. Making sure that we wanted to feel like as if you were coming to our home and we were feeding you. We wanted to make sure that you were satisfied.
Which I can do
happy.
if you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. We just wanted to put out a product that we were proud of and that people were getting, their money's worth and they felt like they were satisfied. Or at least we were trying our very best. To give something that's really good to somebody. Yeah. We know how hard everybody works for their money. We do too. And we know what it's like to go and spend money on food that's mediocre or not that great, not satisfying. And you spent $100 with your family and then you walk away just not satisfied or not happy with it. So that was important to us to make sure that we took our time and learned all of the products, ingredients. I mentioned earlier, we went to the Las Vegas Pizza Expo a couple of years in a row. Because we wanted to meet vendors and we wanted to meet all these industry experts and just kind of pick their ears and pick their brains, sorry, and learn. Just learn. Yeah, we don't want to pick their ears. Sorry, cut that part out. Make sure you cut that part out. Pick their brains.
No, you're good. I'm just no worries. It's all unedited.
Just be a sponge, Just be a sponge and take as much as, be as much as to try to learn as much as possible. It's one of those things. It's like I wanted him to have a good pizza. I wanted him to taste good ingredients, and I know what he was getting, that he was eating as he was growing up, because that's. If we know at least it's healthy, we know it's going to be healthy for him. He's going to eat it, So that was a big thing for us.
Yeah.
It kind of took part all in its own place, as we went through the years growing, we saw him, liking him more. We're like, maybe we can do something, teach these kids how to run a business, how to learn about a business.
Yeah.
And something that's not just, for profitable reasons, but more for, as they grow, they learn how to understand how to manage people, how to work with people, how to do the things that you don't get in a classroom sometimes.
You don't? That's real.
And so we were like, let's think about this. So we did. I mean, I was looking at every pizza oven out there all over the place, trying to figure out which one to use. And, finally when COVID happened, we're like...
Damn, COVID.
She looked at me and was like, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, just tell me when.
And it took it forever, by the way.
Yeah, to decide.
Oh, yeah, it took it forever. I was on him every day because, of course, we're in the same house every day. We can't go anywhere, right? I'm like, did you pick an oven? Did you buy an oven? Did you get the oven? Did you get the oven? And he just wouldn't pull the trigger on it. And I think a little bit was because he was maybe scared to make that commitment, and financially as well. It's a big commitment. And,
no doubt.
And we didn't really know what we were doing. We're still learning. We still don't know what we're doing. We're still trying to, get this together. But
it doesn't show. I'll tell you that
you.
because again, I'm eating. I'm not going to apologize because this is some. I mean, it's hard to just not eat this, man. Because
it's pizza.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, my wife is here. What's up, Laura?
What's up?
But it's pizza, So.
Well, that's what makes this come back out. When we hear people say, "Man, it's good pizza," that makes it worth the
amazing.
Trip,
that's worth it.
And then watching them learn how to make a pizza,
this man right here,
and like my daughter working the register, learning that part, watching them grow in it.
See, when I first saw you guys, we were at Machine Head. We were shout out Ray and Danielle. We were with them. And they were like, told us about you. They're like, yeah, we need to get the pizza, So we got the pizza, But the first thing that caught my eye was the family. I saw you there, I saw the sister, and you guys were just all working together.
Yeah.
That's one of the things to me that stood out to me the most. And it's like, I love that. This is when I had my podcast here, and my whole goal for the podcast is support local businesses, support families that do this, so tell your story. So that's what hooked me. And I'm like, even Ray was like, you got to get him on the podcast. You got to get him on the podcast. Because that's what I want to tell that story, the whole, because you see like my daughter's on the camera, my wife's there, and I got my other two out there coordinating, because we have people coming tonight, So, and I think hearing your story, it's like one of those special stories because like you didn't know.
Right.
And usually those are the best type of businesses.
Right.
I believe, it's like, I don't know, I'm nervous. But then when you get into it, because that's how I was when I started my business. It's like, I don't know. I was like, man, babe, that's $2,000 camera just for the body.
Right.
The lens alone is like a couple thousand. So that's like, months, 3-4 months of our rent.
Right.
But again, it's like trusting yourself, knowing that you can do it, taking the shot, and I hear that from you guys. And I think those are the type of people you want to start businesses.
Right.
Calculated, knowing that, I'm not just going to put out crappy work.
Yeah.
Because
And we're not wealthy people. We're just blue collar folks, and we work hard like everyone else. And so when you make a business commitment like that, it's scary. But our motivating factor was our children for sure. And we praise God for it because He put all the pieces together. He knows what He's doing, and God is just the moving factor in all of this. Because we still are dumbfounded. Sometimes when we're out there in these places and we see a line of people lined up to buy this pizza, and we just can't believe it, and we just know that it's from the Lord, it's from God. Truly, our intentions were to be with our family, be with our children, and our son. Are you okay if I mention?
Yeah.
You being on our son's on the autism spectrum. And we know that it's difficult as it is for those who aren't on the spectrum to find work in this
Yeah.
world that we live in. It's very competitive. So this is our motivation, was to teach our son as well as our daughter how to run a business, how to support themselves in a difficult economy if they needed to, or a hard job economy. They could get out there, they could hustle, they could learn hard work, because food business is hard work.
Yeah.
And we give props
Oh,
to
yeah.
all our friends who are out there in these food trucks and food industry and restaurants or whatever the
Yeah.
case, because it is work. And we learned that, how we're like, whoa. And we were so proud of our children, because it got to a point where, they were watching TV all the time, playing video games like most kids do. But we wanted them to understand what it's all about in this world, because it's not an easy world we live in. We all know that. And when we see them out there with us in the cold and in the heat, they get up, they're working just as hard. I got a daughter on the cash register. I got a son in the back. He's helping his dad. We're just so proud of them.
That's awesome.
And we feel so blessed by this. We just thank God.
And I hear that again, because again, that's something, again, me and my family, we're aspiring to. We're doing it now. My daughter on the camera right now, she's one of my editors. She works in
Yeah,
the
see
business.
that.
She had a big accomplishment where she opened up her bank account, and we're starting to pay her more directly now, and she's making money, and so our other two are going to catch up, but again, that's something I knew I wanted to do. I wanted something for my kids, me and my wife, and we definitely knew, because like you said, the schools aren't teaching them this.
Right.
They aren't teaching. Like, I saw this girl on TikTok moved to San Francisco from Utah, and she went on a rant. She's like, I moved to Frisco because I just thought, hey, I'm gonna move to San Francisco, school, college, work. But when I got here, I didn't know I needed to transfer my registration to my car. I didn't know I needed to look up renter's insurance before this. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And her whole rant was about the school's not teaching you how to do that. And the girl's
Right.
22 years old, young girl.
Right.
And she's like, and she's frustrated. She's like, but when I was 16, I was fortunate enough, my mom bought me this car under her name, but it's still my car. But my mom has to schedule an appointment to fly out here, and it's like all these things. It's like they're not teaching that, and I believe like hearing that, because he's learning, your daughter and him are learning
Right.
the business,
Oh, yeah.
how to run and make it. I don't need to learn, English, science 2A or 3A or, history. We need to know that, but when it comes down to it, if that's not where I'm going to make money off, I don't care, because I'm one of those guys that got kicked out of high school. I was probably the guy that annoyed you because I didn't like math. I'm like, there's Jose Cruz.
You and me both.
Yeah. And so it was one of those things. It's like I knew I needed to channel what my strengths are,
Right.
and that's what we did here, and that's what we're doing for our kids. And I love the fact that, like you said, it's a family thing.
Yeah.
And I sense it, God family pizza. Like, again, one of the things I love when I went, it's like we automatically connected. We automatically, and this is why I wanted to bring you on. So let's get into the now you bought the oven, you're making pizzas for the family. You've learned, and took some time. You said like 12 years later, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
finally. What was that, like that first gig where
First
you knew?
gig?
Yeah, that you knew was all right. Here,
All right,
we're going in.
So we ordered the ovens, right? Or the oven came in, and I remember I told you I traded the trailer for a storage unit with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we did that, and I'm finishing this oven. I'm trying to fix this trailer, and my principal comes up. She says, "Hey, we're going to do the prom because, well, it's a celebration after COVID happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
We went back to school, and we had like a what do you call it? I forget what kind of groups they called them, and the kids were graduating, and we found a venue that we could do the graduation and also celebrate for the high school kids, and that was like the very first thing. They could barely be around each other,
Yeah.
but they were all wearing masks, and then she's like, "We can't find a caterer because there's nobody available to do it. Do you want to do pizzas?" And I'm all, really? I'm like,
What year was this?
that was right after COVID, the first year they came
2021.
back.
Okay,
Yeah,
2020. So this was just last year.
Yeah. No.
Mid
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
actually June of
like
2021. Yeah.
yeah. And so then I'm like, we'll do it. And so we set up, and then all of a sudden they go, and I didn't even know she had got the canopy with all the logos and all this stuff.
Went in.
I'm in marketing, right?
And I
so
showed
I was
up
like,
and we
you
put
gotta
the
have.
thing up and
I
I
know
looked at
you-
it and like, holy smokes, look at this thing. I'm like, wow, it
Yeah,
looks
we're
good.
legit.
Looks cool. And even though the trailer wasn't completely done, but the oven was on there and we got that started, all of a sudden we had a line of kids all lined up. It was I'm in a small charter school, so we had like 84 kids show
6
up.
feet apart. No.
Yeah, right.
They were all wearing masks.
Yeah.
And then they
I'm
get
just
their
messing.
food and they was like, wow. And we're feeding
But
these kids.
logistically, we were still trying to figure out, like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, we were
how does this
slow
work?
as
Like,
molasses. We
yeah,
were
like
slow
where
as
do we put
molasses.
this table, and how are they going to get the pizzas, and what are we going to put the pizzas on? You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know. It was like we didn't know what to do, but we did know how to make the pizza. You know? And it just kind of came together organically. It sort of just developed. You know?
Yeah.
Man. It's staring at me, you know. But that's awesome because, again, you didn't know.
We didn't know.
But you
Yeah.
took a shot.
We did it.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
went out there. It was like a Hail Mary, like, all right, let's just do this thing. Let's go do it. And it worked out great. We had a lot of helpers, a lot of supporters coming out and helping us and watching us and giving us tips and advice. Like, maybe you should, have the kids do this, or you guys should do this. And took all the advice and made adjustments. And
The wheel started rolling.
yeah, the HOA
man.
lady was there, the president of the HOA. This was at Tesoro Viejo. They had the prom. And she come up to us and she asked us if we'd like to be at their farmers markets they do on Sundays at Tesoro Viejo in Madera. So yeah, we looked at each other and said, yeah, that'd be great. Because that's kind of, in my mind, that's what I had envisioned us doing.
Yeah.
I never envisioned us doing what we're doing capacity-wise now.
Once every
And it's
2
not
weeks.
big,
Good.
but yeah, I figured this was just a little side hustle that we could get together with the kids and go to farmers markets, or, and just sell a few pies. And that'd be really cool if somebody bought a pizza from us, wouldn't it? Like, that would just blow my mind if somebody bought a pizza from us. And so when she said farmers markets, I was like, oh yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, we'll do it. So we did. We found ourselves like couple weeks later, we were at the farmers market at Tesoro Viejo, and not prepared for that, huh? Because we
Holy smokes.
Really?
yeah.
It was 102.
Yeah, it's
The
hot.
first day out.
No, it was 110. It was 110. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
It was 110 degrees out there. It was so
front of a
stinking hot.
stove.
Yeah, in front of a 900 degree oven.
Oh,
And we're like, whose idea was this? This is really stupid. Like, we live in Central Valley.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking 150
It's hot.
degrees here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
Like, whose
definitely a
idea was
winter
to do
sport.
wood fire pizza out
yeah,
here?
winter sport.
But it was a good day. We learned a lot that day, and we had a lot of people giving us compliments. And we sold, I think it was like, at that day, it was like 50 pizzas. It blew our mind. We thought if we could sell like 10 pizzas, that'd be cool.
Really?
And we ended up selling out that day.
Wow.
And so it was a success,
It was a busy day because we were really slow.
Really? And well,
Yeah.
that's
We were hustling,
But-
but we were trying. We were trying, but we were slow.
Yeah, and we were nervous as heck. We had no
Oh, yeah.
idea. Like,
yeah, because you guys haven't found your groove. You haven't
hadn't found
that-
our groove yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now we're going about a little over a year and a half later, right? A year and 8 months later.
You guys
Yeah.
found your groove.
We found a groove. We're out there. We're doing it. We're booked pretty much every weekend now.
I know. That's why it's like we talked. I think last winter when I was actually out, because you guys, I told you my story about when I got sick. COVID took me out. It was bad.
Right.
And then when I was out and about, that night with Ray and Danielle was one of like the very few times I've went out since I was down for 6 months. So when I came out and met you guys, I felt like you guys been just doing this forever, and I didn't, because again, that was just June, July, August, September, October, 6 months. You guys were barely into that, because November is when I actually started. December, I started, getting out more, and I remember hanging out with Ray and Danielle with seeing you guys and what you do, So
Right.
you guys got seasoned real quick.
Yeah.
yeah.
We got thrown in the fire, very quickly.
Man.
And
But it's been fun.
Yeah.
it's been
lot
a
of
blast.
fun.
So
People
we
have
have
been
so much
kind.
fun.
Yeah, that's what I was
It's
about to ask you.
incredible.
So what has been the response, because I know, like you said, you started off, everyone loved it. Like, hey, can you come, you got invited back, started doing the farmer's market. But now, what has been the response being out and about? How far do you guys go into Central Valley? What have you guys experienced?
I think the furthest we've gone south is Hanford so far.
Okay.
No, we went to that winery. What's it called?
Oh, that was way out in Mendota, huh?
Yeah.
We went to Cardello Winery.
Cardello Winery. Cool
Beautiful
place.
venue.
Yeah.
Beautiful place. Way out towards, almost like you're going towards the 5. That was a long trek, but it was beautiful place.
Was it worth it?
It was worth
Yeah.
it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
worth it. Gorgeous place. And shout out to them for that. And then we landed at Machine Head Brewing Company here in Clovis. And that's kind of where we got a little bit of our,
That's
Clout.
when we started getting more attention, you know?
yeah, the customers there were fantastic and so supportive. And I don't know, that's for us, that's just been the best part about all of this is meeting people like I mentioned, like yourselves, like your wife and your family.
And I asked you, and I'll say it again, who's kind of been like your best, met the greatest people? Who's the top? Who's at the top?
Right now,
You're
top
top.
Right
now.
Yeah, you're
He's
the
like
top.
right now.
That's still here. That's
Yeah.
still here. But
I have to
the
shout out
people-
for DeSoto over there because everybody at DeSoto, the community, man, they're awesome. They come out and they see us, and
they were super supportive, yeah.
Yeah.
And people from Machine Head Brewing Company have been supportive.
Yeah, shout out Rob, man.
Yeah, Rob
he's-
he called us and gave us a shot out there, and I got to give him props and thank him very much from the bottom of our heart. And a lot of the customers there have been phenomenal to us.
That's
Wonderful.
kind of like that was like almost your staple spot, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know it was like we looked you guys up after. It was like we know if they're gonna be at Machine Head, that's where we're going.
Also, Sanger.
Yeah.
Sanger reached out to us, the chamber there, Chamber of Commerce in
Really?
Sanger. We started doing
Yeah.
their street fair events. So this was like the next step. Like, okay, there's going to be a lot more people there. Like, are we going to be prepared for these street? And that was, we've got to do it. We got to just do it. Let's go for it. So we did. And
we did one night. We went out there, and my daughter couldn't make it, so we had him and another friend of ours out there to register. And so they're manning the wheel, and they filled the wheel, and then they crossed
lost
the
our
wheel.
spot. We
and
didn't
so
know
we
who
were
came.
like trying to manage all the tickets.
Really?
I was like putting him in order, and he just tells me, dude, you don't have to put him in order. We'll be fine. I'm like, oh, you don't want me to put him in the order? I'm like, yeah, dude. We just put down numbers. No one's gonna care. So then I started doing that, and then next thing you know, like 30 minutes later, it was like a giant line. Everyone's backed up.
people were like, where's our pizza? We're like, who are you? We don't know. What pizza did you order?
Well, you took my money.
Yeah.
We're like, we're not putting the boys on the cashier ever again.
Yeah.
I'm just screaming eternally. And
you
I
know,
learned a good thing that day.
But through that whole spiel, people were really cool. We got them their food. Even it took a little longer, but they were really kind and they were patient with us. I mean, it was only our fourth time out. fifth time out, probably.
So every time
And
we'd
so-
go out, we get a little bit better. We learn a lot about, like what not to do. And I felt like it would just get better. And then I'd mentioned our shout out to our friends over here, Papi Churros. So we would, they gave us a lot of tips and advice on managing lines and crowds and events. And a lot of the food vendors too would tell us, have you guys gone here? Have you done this? Have you done this event? So they would help us out a lot. Very supportive group of
Vendors.
people and
Yeah.
vendors in the
like, it's that
community.
community, yeah.
Very much so. And we learned that as well. We had no idea about that. And just supporting one another and helping each other and saying, just giving advice. We were green and they saw that and, hey, you guys might want to do this and you might want to do that. And we really appreciate them. So
Yeah.
shout out to all the food vendors out there.
A lot of respect
in the
to those
community.
guys, 'cause
Lots of respect.
they
They've
know.
been in the trenches, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So now getting into that, like you guys said, COVID happened, and it's like you kind of knew this is what we got to do.
Right.
It's like again, it's one of those things. It's like, man, you got to risk it. COVID happened. How did COVID? I mean, just kind of sidebar. How did COVID impact you guys and your family? What did it do as far as work, all that? What was that impact?
Right.
We had a lot of variables. We had I was teaching from home. We were having watch
I was
her mom
working
because
from home.
her mom had to be bedridden more, so we ended up having to watch her mom more.
Yeah, take care of my mom. Our parents are elderly, so we had to take care of our parents as they're older, and we, keep an eye on them like most people did, and just hunkered down like everybody else, and just stuck together.
Yeah, a small space.
But it gave us
working together.
I think
Yeah.
it gave us an opportunity to really kind of strategize on the business. Like as you mentioned, I had the logos laid out, I had the canopy laid out. I had time for that because I was home, so
And you knew
couldn't have
about
been
all that stuff.
right? And I wouldn't have been able to do any of that had I been working and driving to Merced
Yeah.
because I was at the time I worked for Radio Merced, and so that gave us that opportunity to sit and really pencil down ideas and put this business together. So it was good for us in that sense. But I also feel like, and I'm sure you would agree with me with COVID happening, it kind of gave you the motivation to like, okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
Life is short.
Come on.
Hey, anything can happen at any time.
Yeah, you know,
It's so unpredictable.
that's so real. My friend, shout out Roski, we talked. I had him on. He said COVID had this thing where either COVID made you or broke you.
Right.
You know, and COVID happened to us, we lost a lot of clients, but one stuck with us.
Right.
So we made it past that hump like a month and a half, right, Laura? Then right after that, it blew up. You know, so
Right.
we were like, oh shit, we actually made more money than just in this time span we did in our whole business, and it was actually like successful. And like you guys said, you took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff. You know, so now like you came up with the logos, the designs, everything yourself.
Yeah.
So you do graphic design also?
No, let's not get carried away.
Okay. Let's not put that out there. You know?
I actually went through Fiverr, so
Okay.
I
Shout out.
you
Oh yeah,
know.
Fiverr. Yeah, I like Fiverr.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, had a couple different designs, and I found one that I knew what I wanted, and I sent them an idea of what I wanted because we have our logo, and we have that classic 1956 Ford on it.
Yeah, it's right here. Like literally get a shot up to that so you can see it right there. Now tap that joint right there. Look at that.
Yeah, you'll see it every once in a while on the road pulling pizza oven.
She's very temperamental, you know. She goes out when she wants to go out, you know. But that was kind of our shtick. We came across that. We were going to buy a truck to pull the because we both had Priuses, so we're like, we got to get a truck to pull this pizza trailer. And then this gentleman we came across he showed me a truck that was for sale on Craigslist, and the guy happened to be in the Ranchos. Shout out to Stan.
Yeah.
And he rebuilt this 1956. It was an old PG&E truck.
Him and his son.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just gorgeous. And I told him we need to buy that. And he's like, he thought I was joking. And he was like, no, we can't. I'm like, no, we need to buy that. Because in my mind, I was like, hey, that's a good shtick. You know, we can go to car shows and we can be at car shows with our truck and our trailer and sell, you know, pizzas at car shows. And we haven't been at one car show yet.
No. That's the goal.
Yeah, the goal was
2023.
We haven't gone to one yet.
We get some more free time.
Free time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, you know, because again, this has taken off, you know, and again, you guys, like you said, every weekend you're busy, you know. Now, let's get into what do you guys cater to? You know, is it just businesses, events, weddings? What do you guys do? Can any,
all of the above.
If I had a birthday party, I'm like, hey, I have a birthday party. You guys do all that stuff. Just
We do.
We try to ask for a specific minimum, you know, because it is hard to get out there with the oven and the setup and the canopy and all that stuff. So we do ask, you know, for a minimum. But yeah, we do birthday parties. We did baby showers. We've done weddings. We talked about the wedding we just did on Sunday. That was gorgeous. And that was our second wedding so far. And we love weddings. Awesome. Are great.
Yeah.
And people seem to really like the pizza and they were happy. The bride and groom were really happy with it. And the previous bride and groom were really happy with the services we provided.
Isn't that crazy how, like, you know, because again, when people can just say, you know, let's simplify, you know, let's get some really dope pizza, but at a wedding and everyone's like elegant, you know, salmon and steak and, you know, chicken, briccata, whatever.
Totally. Like, I'm old school like that. Yeah. I was surprised to see people nowadays wanting these trucks and they want a taquiza or they want pizza and they, you know, as long as it's good and they're down, they're happy, you know?
They're down, let's go.
Yeah. So we were like, well, let's go for it.
Yeah. You know, so now getting into like your guys' like the whole, like the business of it too, you know, so where do you feel like you see it going now, 2023? Where do you guys want to level up? Because like you said, you have two jobs.
Right.
Each of you. Do you see yourselves in the near future say, you know what? Get rid of the real job and do this. Is this something that you guys see soon?
Gosh, it's hard to say. You know, previous experiences you do and you watch and you learn from making some of the things that you do. And so you're always cautious about doing stuff like that, you know? I think I see her more going into that, running the catering portion of it bigger. So that way I can stay doing what I'm doing, but still continue to, you know, because he's making pies already. So by the time he gets done with his senior year, he might be my go-to pie guy, you know, because he's pretty good, getting better.
Yeah. So where are you at with all this? Do you? I mean, because again, sometimes there are kids that are like, or you know, kids really that don't want to work, that don't want to like, oh God, Mom, it's Saturday, I want to stay home. Where are you at with the business?
I enjoy it a lot. You know, it's been a really, really cool experience for me to do. And it's good that I finally get to like spend more time with my parents and stuff. Being able to get into the action of it all. It's good to find a way to support myself at this age.
Come on.
Are
Are they paying you $50 an hour?
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, they will.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, tell the truth. We haven't paid you yet, really.
You get pizza.
I get pizza.
I get
He works
paid
for
that.
food.
He's like, get that. So what else? I mean, do you feel like it's helping you out with quick thinking, your confidence, communication, getting out there in the real world?
I'd say yeah. It's slow for me because I am a little bit different when it comes to that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I'm slowly but surely starting to learn more about socialization, just the business in general.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I keep on telling my mom and dad that I want to open a snow cone biz during the summer
Nice.
because I know they don't want to be doing being next to the hot oven during like 140-degree temperature. So I'm like, okay, why not in the winter we just open this, and in the summer snow cones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you call that?
Oh, man. Right now I'm thinking just like frostbites, but like I used to have this other name called Little Mountains, I think it was called.
Oh, dope.
Little Mountains and Little Everest, but I think that was taken, so I had to choose something else.
Yeah. I'll bleep this part out because I don't want no one to steal your name.
Oh yeah. Oh shoot.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
all like,
Yeah.
It's probably already
time
stolen.
code this. But
We love that he's thinking like that, though. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's the whole point.
that's
That they're thinking like in an entrepreneurial way. Like, I could do this business. I can make, and they see, my daughter was afraid to speak to people on the first day of the cashier. She's like, I can't do this, Mom. And I'm like, you can do it. Get in there. Come on. You got to do it. You got to do it. And now she's no problem.
slaying. Huh?
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, on her tip jar, she put, what did she put on her tip jar? She puts college fund, right? And so she gets all kinds of tips now because she has that college fund
Good
on
for
there,
her.
And she learned very
It does help
quickly.
her.
It
It
does,
does help her.
and it does help her.
Yeah.
So
So-
like hearing that, because again, we get students, young people that just don't want to, they hear
Right.
that helped them. How's that make you guys feel?
Great.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole.
exactly-
Because that was the whole point
that's the
too.
whole point.
Did you guys hope for that? Did
Yes.
you see like maybe he doesn't want you? Did you feel like there's gonna be a kickback? Like, no, I don't want to do this.
No, there definitely was.
There is.
Yeah.
And trust me, there's moments where like, hey, they're gonna go out and hang out, and can I go? And we're like, hey, we got responsibilities.
Yeah.
So but he also understands that we give him that free time.
Yeah.
So he gets the moments to go and moments.
Yeah,
that
we don't
he's
want to
like,
keep them
can't
from
do
the
it.
stuff they need to do with
Yeah.
their friends and
Be their
socially.
age,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's not all about this. This is not what it's all about. But it was about them learning skills that
And
like
there's
you
a
said,
balance. And
Yeah.
there's a
they don't
balance
teach
to it.
anymore.
But to hear that I mean,
We're so proud of him. And one of the proudest moments we had was a few weeks back. There was a lady who had come up and she said, "Is that your son?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my son." Wow, he's such a hard worker because he was putting the canopy away and he was helping his dad and he was out there doing it, picking heavy lifting and putting in the truck and just doing it. And I was just so proud to see him working so hard. Because fast
I'm looking
forward,
forward to that
rewind.
Yeah.
Let's
Were you-
rewind a year and a half ago. that would have
God.
not happened, And I really see that he's really matured through this process. My daughter as well. So again, all the glory goes to God for this because this is not from us. It was a godsend, and we're so grateful and so blessed and still humble over how well this has gone.
Well, that's what we were talking about. There.
Yeah.
It's like, do you guys claim that you're the best pizza? I would say you are on the real
Aw,
in the
thank
Central
you,
Valley.
thank you, thank
Because like
you.
you said, we would never say it, but we're pretty good. But it's like
We're just
I
trying.
honestly believe that you guys are one of
Thank
the
you.
best. Because
Thank
again,
you.
like you said, we've been to certain places here in town that serve pizza, and it's not the same. Like you said, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, now I can. I still eat pizza when it's like if I just see a pizza on the table, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, it's pizza.
But I'm still gonna be able to judge.
What made you why do you love pizza so much? Because again, you're the inspiration behind it. Because Pops was like, I want to make my son happy.
I guess you could say I'm the real founder of the company.
Come on. Let's go.
I can't really say why. It's always just been my favorite food, right next to chicken strips.
What's your sauce? What do you do? What's your barbecue?
Barbecue.
Yeah, same here, man.
I think the fresh pizza I've had was like, remember the Target pizzas they used to have?
Yeah,
Like,
Target pizza's pretty good. Yeah.
and I remember just taking that fresh part, and I was immediately hooked. And I was just like,
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
so when I was little, every time my mom couldn't go to Target without me saying, "Hey, can you give me a pizza?"
He's like Donatello, you know. He's
Yeah,
like a Ninja
Michelangelo,
Turtle. Yeah,
Michelangelo,
Michelangelo.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Totally
hilarious.
pizza lover. So, and we all were too. You know, who doesn't love pizza?
No doubt. If you
Yeah.
don't, like we said before, it's like if you don't like pizza, there's just something wrong with
Yeah.
you. You know, it's like you need Jesus. You know,
Yeah.
you know, you need a. That's like borderline salvation problems. You know,
Yeah.
you don't love pizza. You know, so now let me ask you guys this: getting into more business part of it. Where do you? Because you guys want to upgrade. You know, you guys want to continue to up your game, get into
Right.
bigger business. You know, what do you guys got to do? What do you feel? What do you guys see?
We're definitely going to get a bigger oven. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a process right now, trying to figure out. All the costs are changing, and so we're always trying to figure out which is the best one. So I kind of nailed it down, and we always looked at the Marcelinos and Marcelinos and a couple other different ovens out there. But we'll
That's the next
when
step,
it comes
isn't it?
out. We'll know
Bigger oven
We know
and
which one
trailer.
it is.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
We're not going to do
for
the
it.
brick and mortar thing. You'd asked us about that earlier.
Yeah.
Definitely not. That was never part of our plan, was to be a brick and mortar.
We are coming out with our Detroit style. We already tried it out a few times, and we're ready to bring it out. We just trying to get our oven, because they're different ovens, so we're having 2 different ovens to bring out. So when we bring those out, those are going to be, people love those.
And it's funny because our food vendor friends, they feel sorry for us when we go to these events because, we take a lot of stuff with us, right? We're like
Yeah.
a mobile pizzeria,
Yeah.
And so they're always like, when are you guys going to get a truck, Because then you're done and you go, And we thought about that too. But then at the same time, we're like, you kind of lose the whole, you lose something with the truck in a sense where that oven is out there. You see the fire, you see the wood, you see your pizza's in there and it's cooking. And there's
just some-
entertainment involved
Yeah.
with that. I think it's kind of mesmerizing to watch your pizza being made, and it's kind of fun. And we love when customers stand around and watch and enjoy looking in the oven and seeing
That's
their pizzas
cool.
coming out nice and hot. So it's part of a show.
That is.
And I don't want to take away from. I don't think we don't want to take away from that. We want people to see
Not
and
yet.
experience it.
Not
So
yet.
far, so good.
Yeah.
We like the way it looks. We like the way people react to it. We like.
We're closer to the customers. We get to talk to them.
Especially if you get like an oven that spins, it'll be that. Then that'll be really hypnotic. You'll just see them going like.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't want to. Right now, anyways, we don't want to take away from any of that. It's working right now, and
Yeah.
we're just gonna stick with this.
Yeah. Why try to fix something that's not broken?
Right.
And also because you guys you've invested a lot of time to learn.
Yeah.
Now I would say not recently, but maybe a few months ago, you went out of where'd you go? Chicago,
Maryland
and you went for a.
Pizza University.
There you go, and there was a special guest there that you worked with that I actually feel like you'd be
It was
related
cool.
with.
We signed up, or my wife signed me up for this, and I didn't even know until she told me, "Hey, you're going to Maryland." I'm like, "Okay, you're gonna go work on different dough techniques." Okay, so we'll send me over there, and Marforni is the pizza manufacturer that does that university, and so. We had a bunch of different people, and we get this text, hey, somebody's going to be there. I need you to sign off on this because, we might use some of the footage. And I'm like, okay. So we sign off on it. I get there, and it's Kevin James.
Yeah.
Class, man.
Otis
Yeah.
the cow himself.
It was cool.
James.
Yeah, he was doing his own thing. You know what? He just comes in and does his thing, and just like one of the regular guys in the group, really cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
It was fun.
So what was that like? Like you said, what was like your whole goal, your purpose, to go there and learn,
Well, we learned about different moisture content, protein levels. You're looking at proofing times, and we're looking at different flours. So multiple
Hydration.
and but the flours I'm looking at are you're looking at either from Italy or from the U.S. And we're always trying different, because we want to see what's working best. And we're happy with what we use, and we're always trying to look for something that's can improve it. And so that was really cool to see that. The different styles of how they mixed it was kind of neat to see. Now it's like, okay, I'm not, I felt like I was like in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I didn't feel too far off.
Yeah, that
was good. Got a little affirmation.
I like that.
And then just get to meet more connections and people that, give you more
Industry
tips
people,
on
yeah.
stuff that's, you always want to grow. So they're always, anytime you can get tips from somebody that's been around in the business for over 20 years, our instructor over there, Leo Spizzetti, out of Chicago, he's good at what he does. And so he was really helpful. We learned a lot.
That's cool. Now, did Kevin James teach you, or did he? Because he loves.
He's one of the students. He
was he one of the students?
He was learning. He was with us all, and it was
Really?
cool. Yeah, he'd come in and he'd work on dough techniques and how to put together a pizza, and and it sounded like he might be trying to do something in New York with it. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
We got the money for it though.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it was
That's
in Neapolitan style pizza. We talked about that type of pizza that we do make.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay.
What types of pizzas and styles, and because you have so many.
There's so many styles.
Well, I
Yeah.
can't technically call it Neapolitan style because
Neapolitan.
a lot of these guys that do Neapolitan, they're certified. They go to Italy. They get, hey, this is legit.
Do you want to do that one day?
Heck yeah, I want to do that one day.
Yeah, man.
Go down there and try to get certified and go and see some of the best in the world. There's like Pepe Franco over there who's like legit.
goat, huh?
Yeah, he's the guy. And anytime I can try to get over there and learn from him or watch him, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a goal. We're always trying. And so Neapolitan, I love to call it Neapolitan, but it's more of a Neapolitan because
Contemporary Neapolitan,
Yeah.
yeah, if you
They're
still
very
like the
technical.
soft,
No doubt.
Yeah, very
it's still
technical.
that soft dough with a crunch to it, really nice.
Traditional.
And so it's traditional. My wife hounds me all the time because she wants it crunchy. So
Yeah, I love crunchy pizza too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And we do. We like it. We like it that way as well. But we try. We try as much as we can.
So, what's your guys' like top sellers then? What do people want? And there is a question that I want to ask, and too, that's I feel like is very controversial too. But like, what are your top like pizzas and name what you make and what are your top sales?
I would
Or
say
top
our
favorites.
top, obviously pepperoni is always the go-to, right?
Everybody likes pepperoni.
Yeah, and then there are margaritas are always that traditional,
The Vito is
delicious.
very
But the Vito is popular. That's one of ours that we created.
The Vito.
With the Italian sausage and sautéed red bell pepper and onion and garlic, and I use a Fresno chili oil from Enzo, which is a local guys, and that's a popular one. We have a barbecue one. We sourced a barbecue sauce
That was
from Mountain
popular,
View.
too.
hot chicken.
Yeah.
We got the hot chick, which is, it's got the Gouda and it's got the mozzarella and it's got this barbecue sauce that we really like. And that's a place we went to that I
Yeah.
said, if we're going to do a barbecue, let's use their sauce because it's really yummy.
Yeah.
We've got our pesto that we do. Everything we do is fresh.
I love that pesto one.
Yeah,
that
pesto's
one,
yummy.
I'm very traditional meat lover sauce, but that
Yeah.
pesto was different for me.
Pesto's yummy.
Yeah.
And it's always fresh, and I think it's because it's so fresh. We make it before we go out. We don't always have it because I don't have time, but we're not going to bring it out unless it's fresh.
I
of
caught
course.
the Holy Ghost when I ate that. Man. I was like, "Ooh, Jesus."
We have a white pizza we do, Lucali. Oh, and then
Lucali.
shout out to Captain's Mushrooms because he's a local guy. He grows the mushrooms and we use his mushrooms on our pizza.
Yeah.
And we roast them in the oven with Italian seasoning
people.
and olive oil.
Yeah.
And we use that applewood smoked bacon on that one with the ricotta. It's a really
That's
good
a
white
really good
pizza.
Man, there's nights where people, that's all they order. And we're like, man, this is, we're going to run out of mushrooms here real soon. And
Really?
we do. Yeah. And then it's just gone. And we're like, I'm sorry. And then there'll be nights where it's like the hot chick, the barbecue sauce.
Everybody
and
wants the
chicken
barbecue
salad.
on it.
Man,
Everybody-
it's just hot that
The
night.
Vito.
Yeah. And the Vito. Those three are like top.
And then I do the vodka one. Remember that vodka
The
pizza?
vodka. Yeah.
And I called it the Johnny Depp because I didn't have a name for it. So because that's how he
Yeah.
was on trial, right? I got Tito's vodka and I used that in my recipe, and it was so yummy and very popular. Especially when I
I
changed
gotta
it,
try that.
everybody's like, "I want that
That's a
Johnny
really
Depp
good
pizza."
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you this then? would it be possible for me to come up with my own and make a still here
Of course. Yeah.
and it'd be on menu?
Yeah.
I get a royalty.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No,
We can try it.
no, I'm kidding.
We can try it. We always try different mixes. So it's, yeah, it's
Whatever.
cool.
And I'll have to promote it. I'll go shoot it. We'll shoot.
Whatever you want.
I'm always overextending. That's who I am.
It's a fun. That's the thing about
Hawaiian
pizza.
one's good too, huh? The Aloha.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing now. You said Hawaiian. The ultimate question is a controversial question. Time code this. Should pineapple ever be on pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. He was like,
Why?
no.
I can tell there's probably like
I'm surprised at how many people really do like it like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a sweet person. I eat
You're very
candy,
sweet.
You know, I love anything with sweetness on it. I'll eat it. Mm-hmm. But I'm a traditionalist too, so I like the margarita or the neo margarita, you know, and I'm good with that. So, but I mean, hey, it's America and the U.S., man. Everybody puts
To each his own, you know?
If you go to Italy, you might not get the same response.
Yeah.
I might get beat up over there, huh? So,
They're
but
like-
why? What's the whole deal about pineapple? Everyone not liking pineapple on pizza because you love it. I mean, I actually don't mind it, but it's not like my go-to.
It's good. It's
What's
good.
what's the
I don't know.
controversy?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I think the problem is that they think it's gonna like the sweetness is gonna overtake. 'Cause that's what I thought. I thought the sweetness was gonna overtake the flavor of the dough and the flavor of the sauce. But I also thought like kind of the texture of the pineapple itself was gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But when I actually tried it, I was kind of surprised because it barely really messed with the flavor, and when you bite into it, it like the pineapple basically melds with the dough, and
Yeah.
it's basically like you're eating it, and it's like you don't
These
even notice
guys
the
already,
pineapple.
you already know.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's to the point where I don't avoid the aloha for the pineapple. I avoid it for the onions because I'm not an onion dude.
Yeah, I'm not onion. So does onion belong on pizza? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody-
You know,
a lot
put
of
whatever you
people
want
do.
on a pizza, you know? We kind of feel like the dough, you can I put Nutella on that dough. I actually made one because we were going to an event and they're like, hey, our dessert truck can't make it. Do you guys do any kind of desserts? And at that time I was like, yeah, no, but I can make something. So I Pinterested something really quickly and there was a pie that had Nutella and it had strawberries on it and some fresh basil.
So it's pretty
and
much like a
ricotta.
dessert, yeah.
It was delicious. And
Yeah.
people were loving it.
Yeah.
So pretty much
Absolutely.
on that bread, on that dough you can put.
This dough is amazing too, by
Thank
the
you.
way. I mean, I know it's sitting there cold. I don't care. I love cold pizza too, but it does. I don't know. It's just like me and Ed's is different. Me and Ed's like
Right.
after a while, it's just like you're eating cardboard. It really feels like cardboard. You know, Little Caesars sometimes to me have. I love Little Caesars. Like we were talking, that's like our guilty pleasure pizza. You know, but
I like
sometimes it
me
tastes-
some Little Caesars, man. That cheese pizza, I tell
Yeah.
you, is yummy.
well, see that's the thing, you know. So, but your guys' ingredients are fresh all the time.
Yeah.
It's not like, we had this a couple of weeks ago, just throw it back in the mix. No,
Right.
it's fresh.
That was
How
important to
important
us.
is it to stay consistent in that?
Extremely important to us. Extremely. That's why we don't always have certain pies because if I can't make it fresh, we're not going to bring it. And we're not about freezing stuff.
Plus,
and-
it creates anticipation.
Right. It's like, no, I didn't bring it. I couldn't get to it, guys. I'm sorry. And I do a ranch dressing that people ask for a lot. And I'm like, if I didn't get to it, I'm not going to bring it because
Yeah.
I want to make it fresh for everybody.
like
you know,
that.
I want our
makes it
customers
good.
to get something fresh. I would want something fresh if I went paid for it, you know? And so that's kind of our belief system. Otherwise, we just won't bring it. We'll
love
just
it.
keep the
You
menu.
know which one we haven't mentioned is the carnitas pizza.
Oh, the carnitas
really?
pizza is really
that
good. Yeah.
one is that one's
We got to try that.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
really
super
yummy.
Good pizza.
Carnita, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
carnitas, period,
We put
man.
some salsa verde.
That goes
the
with you put
carnitas.
Yeah.
whatever.
And
Yeah.
then we got escabeche on top. Man, that's a really good pizza.
I'm salivating.
And we
man.
use Oaxaca cheese on that one.
I think it's time.
I think it's time. We gotta go outside.
Yeah.
yeah. You know, one thing I love about you guys, because we were talking about it earlier too, is like the consistency, the quality over just like, hey, over hype and just really, you know, I don't know, you know, because again, you get a lot of compliments and we talked about this, but there's that one negative, that one,
Yeah.
you know, how important is it for you guys to like not encounter that, you know, especially like you said, you got to have thick skin, but it was like,
Oh yeah, no,
know?
it's for me. It's like a kick in the gut. Like we don't want it hurts. Like you have nightmares over that stuff because we just want everyone to be happy with. We want satisfied customers, and it just means a lot to us. And if they're not satisfied, there's times where I won't even charge people if it's not up to snuff. I'm like, I'm not going to charge you for this pizza. Just, hey, keep it. And I think they appreciate that, quality control. Or I'll say, hey, I'm going to make you another pizza, or my husband's going to make you another one. That one didn't come out quite as the way we like to see it. It's really important to us. So we're real critical on the dough. We're always criticizing the dough. Like I'll tell them, hey, the dough's not rising the way I like to see it rise, or it doesn't look as good, or what's going on with the dough, and the temperature's off or something. So we're constantly looking at that stuff and making adjustments because
the weather, humidity changes. It causes a difference, and so I'm always playing with it, trying to figure out.
Yeah, because right now it's cold outside. We have the dough out there, and we're actually going to go out there in a little bit to go watch it cook some, and again get into the details, take the conversation out there. Yeah, But how long did it take you guys to see now? Like you can see it. Like you can say it's not rising the way most people. Like me, I'm like, it's dough. Just slap that joint on there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Like how long, when did you guys start realizing that became like really your art, your masterpiece? And
probably about a year before we started opening, because I know already, I was like looking at it going, no, that's not what I like. I tried different mixes and I was like, no, that's not rising the way I want it to be, or the temperature wasn't right. Then I figured it out and I'm like, oh. So then now kind of figure it out as we go. Now we know certain days the dough will do certain things. You're like, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the weather change, and that's just what it is. There's a couple of pizzeros in New York. He talks about it. He goes, hey, let's see what it does today. 'Cause sometimes it does its own thing.
It's like, to anticipate that and to know to be ready, and stuff. Because again, once you're out there, you're out there. It's not like, yeah, let me get back in the kitchen real quick and just toss this. No, it's like, you're in.
And our dough is, like you said, everything fresh. Our dough is fresh. We proof it. And we have a 48-hour proof on that. Sometimes 72.
Yeah, sometimes 72. Yeah.
And everyone's getting a fresh, dough, pie. Everything's fresh. So, and I know a lot of people say that. That's important to them. And that's good. And that's really important to us.
And I'll tell you guys listening and why. Well, if you guys are listening to this, then you guys aren't seeing the what I'm eating, but again, or what we're about to go do in a bit. But again, the quality, I would say even now, I would say hit these guys up, find them, follow them on Instagram.
Thank you.
Find their location, because if they're right where you're at, y'all need to go, because again, it's support. It's not going to a big corpo, it's not going just Pizza Hut. Like, we branched out and. No, this is going to a family here in the Central Valley that's doing it because they love it. It's not like I want to do it to be the next best thing. No, I want to do it because, little man right here inspired you guys to do it. And it's like, I mean, why not support that? Why not come to you? Again, that's what I'm really getting behind all this. Because again, I bet a lot of people don't know that story. Right. When you guys are out and about, you can put this out, like, hey, if you guys want to know our story, check out this, and again, I feel like a lot of people appreciate that more, because when you're out there cooking and baking and putting together, collecting money, you'll talk to people, you'll say the quick stuff because, there's business how to be done, but a lot of people don't know this story behind the glory is like what I love to say. And this to me is like, it's so perfect because again, I'm falling in love with more what you guys are. I feel like that's a whole old school, traditional American family right there, man. Just
thank you.
Hard blue collar work, and just, if we can get some money out of it, dope.
Right.
But if my family, my, son and daughter, like that's the reason why we do this, and again, that's why I'm all about this podcast, this to tell your guys' story, because this gives the reason why the business is, successful. And here's why.
And props to you as well. Your kids are beautiful and very respectful. They greeted us and they were very kind. And seeing her behind the camera right now, man, that's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Keep it up,
Thank
man.
you.
So props to you guys as parents as well, doing the same thing. And it shows. And it shows in our children. I think they have appreciation for hard work.
Come on.
And,
I love that. And again, speaking of the hard work, man, are you guys want to go jump outside real quick? And,
let's do it.
I know we got some people showing up here at the house. Let's get some pies popping.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Thank
I was
you.
getting hungry.
check. You know, we're gonna go out there. We know again. You guys don't want to be on this, so we can check. Say hi to everybody. Hi, Ryan. You know these guys coming for some pizza. Ryan, let's go. All right.
Hey, Lonnie.
We going outside. Let me know how this looks. How do I look, Lily? Looks good. So we're outside. You guys brought your stove.
We didn't bring our prep station, but we brought this table.
Hey, this is pretty cool. So one thing I want to keep telling you guys, man, the podcast is growing. We want to keep supporting local businesses. We want to keep supporting people, awesome families like this. You know, so kind of go through a run through of what you guys do, your process, your setup. What do you guys do when you show up to a gig, when you show up to a site? You know, what do you guys normally do?
Oh, sorry. So the first thing we do is, fire up that oven first thing. Yeah, get that oven hot because it takes about an hour to get the oven up to temperature. So first thing he does is throw the wood in the oven, right? Yeah. And get that oven going.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so like the process with the oven, because when you showed up here earlier, you know, you got to kick it on, you got to clean it up, you got to do all that. You know, kind of. Did you know how to do this from the beginning?
Not really. Just from watching other pizzaiolo do it in their mobile stuff. We watched a couple guys and watched what they did, and then, you know, talk to the manufacturer and learn how to start this oven the right way, and then get the temperature. And the temperatures were the biggest thing for us, is trying to keep the temperature where we're like, we don't want to put it in there and burn it.
Yeah.
And so we figured out, you know, if we kept it around 850, 800, and it would cook in 90 seconds. If we want to cook it a little longer, so we get a little more crunch, we drop the temperature a little more, and then, you know, that's pretty much the steps that we started with. Yeah.
So what's your, do you like the crunch? Do you like soft, you know, thick, or what do you like?
I'm a traditionalist. I like soft pizza. Yeah. I'm a Neapolitan.
You like crunch?
Yeah. Crunch. You know, she wants it. So when you see it go back in the oven, she's like, I gotta have it crunchy, or she'll put it back in there for me.
Okay.
You know,
and he rolls his eyes. He gets mad. He's like, "Oh my god, that pizza's perfect," and I'm like, "No, it's not." So we're constantly fighting it, and I'm like, "It's not perfect. It's gotta have more crunch." You know.
Who gets the last word?
I mean, I'm the one who's doing quality control.
Quality control. She gets less call. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I'm making pizzas over here.
Yeah. So let's get into your process now. What do you do? I mean, again, like you said, this is like very intricate dough. Like, you know that it's like you don't just throw it out there.
And I just start center line right here, and just start spreading my dough here, and I'll just have a little. It's called the slap technique, you know, and
slap it.
You know, just kind of nice and easy, you know. Then I shape it, get it to about 10, 11 inches, and like right now I'll just do a margarita, and let me get a little more sauce in there.
And these are for our guests we have here. We got some friends and family here.
And we use our fresh mozzarella from over here. Reach over. Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I put plenty of cheese. I like the cheese. Sorry, guys. Sometimes get a little bit too much, but that's okay. I don't want to cheat nobody.
That's okay. So that's all. That's the first step. This is kind of your
right here. Then I put a little flour here. I don't want to have too much because I'll burn it. Just slide it right on. And then let me drop the temperature a little bit just to get it started. And I tap it. Sometimes I tap the sides too much. Then I'll get it going. It's usually about 90 seconds. The floor might be too hot right now. So let me check it first. Or it might not be, actually, because it's been sitting a little bit. So we'll see.
So how long does one pie take?
When my oven is about 800, 850, about 90 seconds. Right now, it'll probably be a little longer just because it might not be as hot. But we'll find out in a minute. You can tell I put a little wear and tear on this oven already. But it's been worth it. It's been doing a really good job for us.
Making that money, huh?
Yeah, it's been good. We've been 3, sometimes 4.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, how many can you fit in there?
Yeah. If it's 10 inches, I can do 4. Uh-huh. Yeah, anything bigger, start pushing a little bit. But 3 usually is a typical for us. It keeps it smooth. People don't stress too much working on the oven, especially if my wife's working on the oven. And, you know, I'll be making 3 more pizzas at a time. And we'll just keep rotating in. And it all depends on the crowd, how busy we are. Yeah. Yeah. If it's not a big line, then we'll just keep doing that.
I mean, you're rotating it right now. Get in there.
Just rotating it right there. I usually keep it on the right side so that way I can stay here away from the flame. Because the closer you get to it, it gets pretty hot.
Well, like you said, you like it crispy.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this kind of like the first workhorse you guys got?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, no, I would say the first workhorse is the one I got you for Father's
Or
Day.
official.
Yeah, but the official one is this one here, the Zito.
Yeah, look at that. You're just moving it around. So again,
Yeah,
it's a technique to even use this.
Well, because it's not so hot, the base right now. I'm using a couple different spots so that way the bottom can burn a little bit.
And there's different hot spots in the oven, you know, so it's knowing where the hot spots are. Really getting to know your oven. You got to know your oven.
Yeah. Check some color at the bottom a little bit there.
Zoom in there, Lily. We got Lily on the camera.
It's getting there.
I mean, this is fresh pizza. I mean, again, we've had a few pies already, and the quality. I mean, again, that's why I feel like you guys are the best. You know, I mean, you guys got some pizza up here, so get on that, Lily.
A really hot temperature in the oven, but that works pretty good. Cool.
Now, what's your
So typically I'll finish the pizza and I'll add whatever toppings go on the top there. Like, for example, this is a fresh basil. I'll add a little olive oil just to finish it. Sometimes I'll add a little salt. And then I cut the pie and put it on the plate for the folks when they're waiting for it. And they like to watch us do this. I'm sorry, honey.
Chop it out, Lily. You feeling it?
A little bit.
Yeah, be careful. Don't bring
Yeah.
don't bring your
Not for the shot. This ain't news. We don't do for the shot no more.
So, there you go.
So look, there it is. You know, I mean, more light ISO up, Lily. So yeah, come on, they're just coming around. Give it to one of these guys up here. They got, boom, baby.
Got some plates. Hold on.
Ray, get over here, Ray. I'm gonna interview you. Look, we got our first.
More light.
Bite into it while it's hot.
Too dark.
Yeah.
That piece is a little too soft for me, personally.
More light.
More light ISO up. Come over here, Ray.
There you go.
Because you guys are the one that got us in on these guys, right?
I think we all had them at the same time when
Yeah.
we met at Machine Head, and
Yeah.
and been following them, and then
Ooh, get this.
absolutely. Yeah,
You haven't tried the Johnny Depp? The Johnny Depp is
that's what-
really good.
That's what we're talking about.
the one out in Madeira, the breakfast one
The breakfast pie.
that you guys did. Yeah, that one is amazing. You got to try that one. But yeah, can't go wrong.
Happy customer.
Put an egg right on the pizza.
Mhm.
Look at that.
They're gonna get a restraining order on us because we do follow them literally.
Like we peek through their window at night. No.
Absolutely phenomenal, great stuff. Best in the area.
Yeah. I agree.
Jalapenos or mushrooms on? Anything? Whatever you guys want.
Daniela, come out here, girl.
Share this.
Danielle's like, you gonna give me some? You know, again, you guys are listening and watching. Well, if you're listening, then that's on you because you guys got to watch this. Again, Still Here Podcast is grown this way. You know, the whole point of this is to really support. I mean, you guys heard their story so far. You know, when you hear the story behind the glory, that's kind of where I want to always stay. You know, because again, these guys are at my house. These guys live in Madeira. You know, again, there's nothing crazy popular about me. You know, we stay authentic. We stay real because we want to connect with real people like you guys. You know, so again, he's just slapping down some more pies. You know, this is something they always, you know, this is what they do, you know, and it's like, again, it takes time to learn this type of art or craft, right?
It takes a little bit of practice, yeah. It only took me about 12 years to get it right.
One thing that's important too, it doesn't matter how old you are. You know, if you want to do something, you know, he's 51, I'm 50 years old, and I'm slinging pizzas, you know?
I'm slanging.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, just go for it. Yeah, I'm having a blast. I love it. He loves it. Again, we're with our family. And if you're ever thinking about doing something in life, I feel like you should just go for it. Life is short.
My girl Puerto Rican. We're going to take an offering because she Puerto Rican right now. You know, because again, like, take out the work. You know, you guys, again, watching this, you guys need to hit these guys up. Their social media is in the description below. You know, we're sharing these teasers all on social media. Follow them, support them, DM them. You know, again, it's one of those things where you support local. This is really what we want the podcast to be always aboard. Support local. Be about all this. You know, because again, these guys aren't about the hype train. These guys aren't about trying to just make that crazy money. You know, again, it's money's dope, but again, when you have the connection, when you have the relationship, that's what's more super important. You know, because again, when you bring the relationship into business, man, people connect. You know, and that's where I stand in my business. You know, oh dang, look at this one. Which one's this one?
This is a pepperoni.
Pepperoni. Look at that. Get up over that.
Usually I'll put some fresh Parmesan. I'll ask people if they want fresh Parm, and then I'll put it on there for them.
Man, that looks crispy. Man, this is awesome. You know, and I'm glad, you know, that you guys are seeing this. You know, again, it's not like, you know, again, our podcast is different. You know, we want to continue to keep putting out great content like this, you know, because these guys are just awesome people. Their story alone sells their product, you know, because again, when you know you have good product, hey, you're good. But when their story sells and when their relation, their families, you know, behind this, that's what's, to me, that's what's super important. That's what you guys want. Get some more pie for you guys.
Ryan is waiting for the
Ryan. You know, you know, and again, it's just super dope. Get in there. Look at that. I mean, we're shooting a podcast outside of my driveway, you know. So again, it's right. I want to go, you know. So it's super cool. I'm happy here. I'm blessed. I'm excited to know that again, the podcast is growing this way, you know, because again, this is not, there's no hype train here, you know. So we know, like when you guys say you do weddings, you know, look at the dough. Get up higher. I know you're short, Lily.
48-hour proof. I made the starter, then I put it together, and here we are. Perfect the way I want it. Nice and airy. So.
Now, how many pies do you guys, or doughs, or like you said, dough balls, do you guys prep for a normal gig?
About 150 on the average. A small, you know, like if we go to like a farmer's market, we'll take about 150. Yeah. And now if we know there's going to be a large crowd, we'll take 200. Pomegranate, over 300. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So.
And you said you sold that out to pomegranate?
Yeah.
What was that feeling like?
Tiring. Yeah, because it feels great that people are, I mean, it's always a blessing when you look up and the people in line wait and they really are like, man, I can't believe it. We're just, and then she's hustling, my son's hustling, he's like passing pizzas, and Lauren's at the register, you know, and it's, I mean, what can you say other than thank you? We really do appreciate people coming out and just being a part of what we're doing. It's really a blessing.
You know, I love that, you know, because again, you know, you kind of have the what if factor. Like, what if we don't? What if they don't like it? What if this? How do you guys, now I ask you, Diana, how do you get past those thoughts?
Prayer. Just pray and I ask God to just help us, you know, and guide us and just give us this, always keep us humble and always, you know, make sure that we're doing everything right and making sure we're putting out a good product and all that kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And as she's holding that pizza out, you know, that's like, which one's this?
This is the Vito, the little short, sorry.
The what?
The Vito.
The Vito.
The Italian sausage. I get a lot of my product from Sam's Deli, so shout out to Sam's Deli.
Yeah, Sam's Deli, man.
Every week, and I put a little Fresno chili oil drizzle on this bad boy, and I put some fresh Parmesan. Definitely. Put a little basil on top, some crushed red pepper, and it's ready to go.
Sweet. You know, again, this podcast, we're gonna head back into the studio. But before we do, we're going to tear up some pizza. But I just want to say, lastly, you know, let me get this in the background, Lilybug. Lastly, guys, before I head back inside, support local businesses, support families like this. Again, it's not hard to like their posts. It's not hard to share it. You know, it's not hard to tag people and say, you guys need to get this. You guys need to find them. You guys need to use them for your next event. It's not hard to do that. To use them thumbs and share them. Go follow them. They're going to be on Instagram. Their social media is right here on the lower third. Go follow these guys. Go support them. Because again, you heard the story. You hear what they're doing. You see what they're doing. And you see that it's a family business. Again, it's not Pizza Hut. It's not a big chain trying to just take your money. No, you guys are supporting a family that found a passion that grew on them. So stay tuned. We're going to head back in the studio. But first, we're going to tear up some pizza. I love you guys. All right, everybody. We just got done eating some amazing pizza. As you guys saw, we were outside. They were tossing bacon and adding all them awesome flavors. Man, I just want to say thank you guys for coming out on the podcast, telling your story, sharing some awesome grub on your guys' time and dime. Again, it's appreciated. You guys really put out some authentic, amazing food.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not trying to end right now.
Love your family.
Still. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we love you guys. And I know Ray and Danielle, shout out to those guys coming hanging out too. But yeah, we were talking outside, just kind of like vision and goals, and we were talking earlier, again, it's one of those things where I feel like, again, this is where my heart is going to always stay for the show is awesome people like you guys. This is why, again, we do this. Because the podcast, people have intentions to go viral, get that clout, get the million views, get all this stuff, but me not. I feel like real impact is in life, real in community, and so we were talking about, your guys is like people that just love you guys. Weddings, you guys are doing a lot of weddings. Who does, pizzas at weddings? So again, you guys are setting a precedence, and stuff. Yeah. So, where do you feel like you guys, I know I asked you guys this earlier, where do you want to grow, man? But, no brick and mortar, but it's, I don't know. Did you guys ever think it'd be like this?
No.
Not really.
No, we're still shocked. The fact that we're even here on your show, come on, we never dreamed about being on a podcast. We thought,
Really? Okay. We'll
one
go.
farmer's market here or there, maybe once in a while, but this is definitely our weekend gig. Mm-hmm. We're out Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays. We can't be out every day of the week because obviously we still have our day jobs. Yeah. But
occasional Wednesday when I'm really looking for punishment.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how we want to keep it. We just want to keep it where people can find us. They follow us on Instagram and look for our schedules and come out and see us. We'd love to see our customers come out. That's the best part about all of this is just meeting really cool people. And we really, truly appreciate from the bottom of our heart. We're very humbled. And we love every single one of our customers that comes and spends a dime with us. Yeah. Because that means so much to us that they would do that,
That's real. Because again, you said your customers, because we did talk about it earlier, but now, you guys have vegan options too, right?
Yeah.
What's set apart for that? What does that little percentage of group get?
Man, we love our vegan customers. We love
regulars too.
Yeah.
They come.
Regulars.
Yeah.
And they follow us. We'll see vegan customers. We'll be at a winery somewhere, and here comes our vegan customers, or we'll be somewhere else, and here comes our vegan customer again. And I made sure that I source. We didn't talk a little bit about our products. We wanted to source the best products.
Yeah, talk about that.
One thing I want to mention is that when we started this, we went to some of the San Francisco pizzerias, LA pizzerias, and we want to use what they're using. And that was important to us. Like whatever cheeses they're using, we want to use those cheeses. Whatever, products they're using on their pizzas, that's what we want to use. So there's no shame in us saying that. We just want to make sure we give people the best we can give them. And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
Right. Same thing with the vegan options. Miyoko's is a good product. We use that cheese on our vegan, and we have a Beyond Meat sausage that we use, and
pepperoni as well.
We have a pepperoni also that we use, but we're still sourcing. There's a lot of vegan options out there, so
there were more this
if
year.
anybody's watching and they have any advice for us on that, we're happy to take it because we're always sourcing the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we were looking at all the products, we're doing as much as we can local, and we realized that even like our tomatoes, people realize that we're some of the best tomatoes in the country, in the world, maybe even. You're gotten people from the East Coast that are pizzeria makers. They're getting.
They're buying from California, Central Valley. Yeah, they're buying the same tomatoes.
And so we're excited to be able to use those tomatoes from here local
in your backyard,
right in our backyard.
So that's the nice part of it. Being able to look at Tony's in San Francisco and see what he's using, and try to give him some credit for quality products, and take some of that and bring it into the valley and use it. And man, if we can, and we'll do it, because that's what we want. We want the best, and bring it here for everybody, so everybody can taste it.
Yeah, and I think you guys are bringing that best. We talked about was a Pizzeria Bianco in Phoenix. Right? Yeah. Don't you use? What would you say? You guys use the same bread or sauce, or what was it?
San Marzano tomato sauce. Yeah, we use a Bianco di Napoli out of Los Banos area. They're actually up north a little further, but he's partners with the Napoli, and we use his tomato sauce. Stanislaus has a good sauce as well, but we prefer the other. So that's
Why is
what we're
that?
using. I don't know.
What's the difference? What do you feel like?
I don't know. The tastes are really comparable. I think the Stanislaus was a little thicker. The flavor was good. It's just our preference, I think. We just when we taste it, we're like, man, that's
slaps.
it just goes with what we're doing. It works.
Yeah.
And so we're just keep it, and we're not gonna change. That's where we're
But Stanislaus has a good tomato sauce that we use on our Detroit style.
Yeah.
So
on a deep dish. So hopefully that's coming a little more common in the future.
Yeah. Now you mentioned earlier, I think you have a pizza you haven't released yet that you want. What were you talking about? What was it? It was like a I don't know. It's like
it's like a neo margarita.
Yeah.
It's where we use a fresh mozzarella. Then I'll put the tomato sauce, but I won't put it on in the oven. It'll be on after.
Really?
It's a little different, but I like the flavor.
What does that do when it's not in it?
It just enhances the flavor, I think.
Okay.
For me, it does.
And don't forget the one we're gonna roll out. It's Still Here podcast one.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be
Our
special.
new
Creative.
popular one. We're gonna roll that one out.
That's going to be the best seller. Royalties. No.
Our meat lovers, carnivore.
Yeah. Well, because I did when we first met, I was like, I'm trying to again, I'm a guy that overextends myself, but it's like, can we get Still Here podcast pepperoni chips?
That's right. That's right. We did try those. We actually did try those in the oven. They're really good.
Man, see, that's what I love. Just when you can just buy that or just get that and just crisp on, or just
especially with my house-made ranch dressing. Like seriously, it's really yummy.
Killing me. Yeah, we definitely got to do, because again, I'll help you promote it. I don't want to royalties. I just love the fact that I'm like, I'll put, I just want to be a part. I want to help you guys. I want to sell it. I want to, I don't know. I love what you guys are doing, and that's what is important. It's super important. Like we said outside, it's not a big corpo. It's not Pizza Hut. It's not Round. It's not all these guys that, we're gonna do a little pop up. And the big guys get it. No, it's going to you guys. It's going to him. It's going to the daughter, like you said, a college fund.
Yeah, just a mom and pop having fun out there, feeding people.
Even on that note, we do want to become more involved. We talked about this with charitable events, especially supporting autism and autism research and stuff like that locally.
Yeah,
and we are working with a few organizations that we want to partner with and do some charity stuff too. Because it wasn't just about hey, they're going to do a side hustle. And, it was also let's do something to help autistic research.
Yo, I mean, let me know. Let me know if you guys got some event coming on and you're doing it. I'll bring the pot. Again, I can take this on the road. Like everything you see right here is easily on the road.
We love that. Yeah.
Because again, it's bringing awareness. It's keeping it in the know. It's keeping it up front in the forefront, man, and not, just like, hey, we're living our lives. We know that's there, but not just constantly, shedding a spotlight on it. Just like, man, this is still a thing. And so even talking about that, it's like. Because you asked them, like, is it okay if I mention this? Mm-hmm. And how has that, growing up, when he was a child to where he's at now, where have you seen the growth, mostly, especially then starting this?
Well, you saw him outside, like he's so sociable. He's like,
awesome. You're awesome,
he's like
dude,
the life of the party now. Before he would be a little more standoffish.
Yeah, all these
shy.
awesome pizza names.
He's like now he's just so social and he's like a social butterfly. He's just come out of his shell.
I want to meet people,
Yeah, he's a people person.
No, definitely you are,
definitely.
Man. And was there a worry at first, kind of like, oh, you feel like you have to explain?
Like, definitely.
Definitely with me, I was definitely worried because I had struggle controlling my emotions back then.
How so?
Just like when I was younger, I had like trouble. I've had troubles with like comprehending stressful situations and stuff like that, especially during school. And that's why that's another like aspect that I like about this business is that because it kind of gets me into the mix with like the chaos of it all. I've kind of gotten used to it. You know, I'm still learning and I'm still like growing, but I have starting to mature a little bit more. You know,
Yeah, that's a
Growing
good
as
point.
person.
That's a good point. I think that's where we've seen him develop the most.
Like, I mean, at the beginning, he wouldn't even step near the front where he had to do the register.
Yeah.
He, like, wouldn't have it. Now, if he has to back up and jump in there and his sister's gone,
That's awesome.
he will.
Yeah, he knows how to.
Yeah,
That's
he-
great that you asked him that because that would be the one thing I've seen the most growth is just him dealing with stressful situations. Yeah, when he was younger, he couldn't handle that. He would maybe kind of like have a little bit of a meltdown a little bit trying to understand a stressful situation. And now he's just like, no problem. Let me jump in, help my dad. Let me get some pizzas going,
Yeah.
And honestly, that's where I've seen the most growth with him. So
Yo, man, that's dope. Good for you. How old are you?
16.
16. Bro, you sound like you 30.
You told me that last time.
Yeah, you sound like a smart man, dude. Yeah, seriously, you're a grown man. I respect that, and I love that again because it's that's one thing we deal with. That's one thing we have. For our oldest, we love our daughter because Kehlani. When she was born, she had gotten E. coli spinal meningitis. It was bad, so she had 2 spinal taps as a brand new infant.
wow.
And so she overheated and it fried her brain. And our doctor said she's not going to live, not going to survive. If she does, she's going to be mentally. She's going to be. I don't know what did he say, Laura?
Learning disabilities.
She's going to be mentally retarded. Basically, he said. So we were worried, man. We're like, no, it's like, and so as she was little, it just, little babies, little kids, but she right now she has issues learning certain things, talking, but you could never tell, but they're like when it comes to school, she struggles. And that's the thing I'm worried about. It's like, Kehlani, relax. Don't say too much because it's hard for her to say a lot, but sometimes me as a parent, as a father is like, I got to trust her, like in her to know that she believes in herself. Kehlani does not care what people think about her. Kehlani does not care. That girl can rip a burp larger than any grown man on earth. Seriously, and it rumbles the walls, and she does not care. But you see, that's kind of where I think my strengths in our family are is that we want to pull out that specific strength.
Right.
What she's good at, what he's good at, and you guys found it. We found it with our family. And again, this is why I love supporting the family local business because it's more than just making money. This man's gotten his confidence. This man, like he says, inspired by me very confidently, and I'm like, I love that.
Right.
So again, to see that and have that, again, this family and your family, we have that commonality, in our businesses.
Yeah, I mean, he's a class president at his school.
Wow.
Yeah. This year, he was like, I'm going to do it this year. And he went and he did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
But what did you guys, when he said that he was going to do that, what were your guys?
I was scared to death. I was just like, oh my gosh,
I was hey, just know you're going to compete against,
Yeah,
seniors.
There was only one person competing, and she was really good at what she does. And so I honestly,
and she was a
didn't expect
senior.
to win.
He's a
Yeah, she
junior
was a
still,
senior.
And I just, I was just so worried that like, can he handle disappointment? Like that's really when your first reaction was like, oh my goodness, I don't, we want to protect our kids. You know how it is. And so I was like, I was nervous.
I'll
And
just be ready. You never know. We got next year.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I went. I'm like, oh.
He's like, oh, you won? Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Like, you're not excited? I'm good.
yeah, totally. That's
and
how
that
it
made
was.
me feel a lot better about myself because I know about like the people around me. Because I know a little thing I was struggling with is that I was kind of wondering, are these people, the other people around me, do they really like me or are they just kind of pitying me, for lack of a better term? But, after kind of like just seeing that, it really, it really boosted my confidence. Like, hey, I'm a good, I'm likable, there's people that
You
actually
are.
like me,
Let me ask you this then, man, because I feel like it's taking a turn, Do you understand your condition? Like, I don't want to call it condition. I don't know. What is the proper, do you understand?
Yeah, I do. I know what it means,
How does that make you feel knowing that like that's kind of what you have or what you deal with?
It doesn't make me feel bad. If anything, it kind of brings me a sort of joy because it tells me that I'm unique. I'm different from others. and it kind of inspires me to reach my goals, so I can show others that are having the same problem as me, that are in a similar situation as me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm sorry. I don't know if I want to call it a problem or an issue.
You know,
I feel like you said, it's like it's unique. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
I really do feel that.
Same. I don't even want to call it like condition either.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
Yeah, same thing as me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show them that no matter who you are, no matter how you act, and no matter how you were born, you can still do some of the greatest stuff in the world. You can still create the greatest things humanity can ever see. You just need to believe. You know, believe that you can do it. You can't bog yourself down with stuff like, I can't do this because I'm this, or I can't do this or I'm that. You just need to do it. You need to jump in. You'll never know unless you actually jump in.
Man.
He's truly one of the kindest. He is truly one of the kindest persons I have ever known. And I'm not saying just because he's my son. Like, he blows us away constantly.
That right there.
His heart is like so pure.
That's
and,
beautiful.
You know, and I feel blessed as a mother to have a son just who's so caring and compassionate towards others. I mean, I wish we could all be like him. He's just,
That's the innocence still.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's what makes it so special, because my oldest is the same way. She really is genuinely a loving person. She really is. She doesn't see the fault. We have to remind her, like, look, the world's not
right. You're scared for your kids.
Yeah, but it's like, you got to understand, they don't care about your feelings. But she's like, why? I care. You know, and I remember as a little baby, a little girl, you know, like Ryan's age out there, she had the thing where she would just go hug people. Like, girl, you can't just do that.
Right.
But she sees it from a different, you know, that's who she is. Kehlani is a caregiver. She's the one that loves people. You know, the kids love her.
Right.
Old people love her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, there's like, we would go to the store, or we'd go places and little babies are just like,
Drawn to her.
Drawn to her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
she has a heart or spirit about her. And I get that from you. And I feel like that's kind of what this, like you said, it's like, I wish this world was like that too,
Yeah.
you know, because
they
I
have
heard.
hearts of gold, you know?
Yeah.
Truly, truly pure of heart. And they're good people.
And to me, that's like the faith of a child,
Right.
you know, the innocence of a child. And it's like, we as adults, we lose that fast. You know, I heard this study that, you know, parents that watch cartoons with their kids still, even if it's anime, because I still love watching Dragon Ball with my kids. We'll watch all this, you know, The Last Avatar, you know, it's just, you keep your youth when you do that.
Right.
You know, and it's like these studies when adults, I don't watch that stuff no more, you can tell they've aged faster. You know, we sit there, we'll go through a whole season, you know, all night just binging, you know, it's like that keeps
you younger.
me,
Yeah.
it does, you know, so, and I feel like with that, you know, with our children, you know, it's like, that's where I feel like we as adults, we lose that faith in humanity. We lose that. And that, like, when I hang around with my kids, I feel so young still, so youthful. You know, I'm 41.
Right.
You know, but everyone's like, dude, you don't look 41.
You're still a young man. Yeah.
You know,
you
and it's
look
like,
good,
and that's
yeah.
the thing. It's like, again, when you keep that.
But I know what you're saying, because,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I mentioned earlier, we're in our 50s, and
Y'all
we feel
look good
younger because we
still.
have younger kids, and they keep us young. Yeah, they keep us going. And even when we're tired, you know, our kids are like pushing us, come on, let's go.
That's
you know,
awesome.
we got to go. We got to move. They're young.
Yeah.
We got to go with them. So,
Yeah. I love that. And again, that's carrying over into the business.
right.
Really is. I see it, man. And dude, you inspired me. Just want to tell you that, man, because really the words you poured out that people are listening and watching, man, I guarantee you, man, that's going to impact people. That's going to connect with this world that needs that realness, the authenticity. I just want to tell you, keep running with that.
Thank you, dude.
Lead it. I tell my kids, man, I'll tell you, man, leaders lead. Leaders don't worry about who's behind them. Leaders worry about going forward. You know, that's it. Leaders don't look back, you know, because when you're looking back, you're not focused on what's ahead. Leaders keep leading. Don't worry about nothing. You know, and I can already tell just by your parents that you have that good example. And I feel like with you, you know, being who you are, man, you're already on that path. So I appreciate you, man. Seriously, that blessed me. That really did. Your words blessed me.
Thank you so much, dude.
You know, so yeah, I mean, again, when it comes down to it, I'm going to
And
support you
kudos
guys.
to you guys, because when we came here, your children came out and greeted us first thing, all three of them, and they were very kind. They shook our hand. They introduced themselves. You can tell they were raised properly. with manners. And I'm just, very proud of you guys too, because you got great kids.
Thank you.
Very
it's a blessing.
cute.
We're blessed. Again, I didn't have that when I was growing up.
Right.
I didn't. My
Yeah.
parents were my mom was crazy, crazy Native American woman. Man, but my dad was just always working. It's like, so
Right.
I had to teach myself how to be a man, how to be a father, how to be a husband, how to be a decent human being. I didn't have examples,
Right.
and so now I have what I'm living for. That's what's important, because I
Yeah.
know I know what this world needs, and it has to start here in my family with my
Right,
kids.
right.
Me and my wife know that, so we're together on this,
Yep.
and so. You guys got my support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're here for you guys, whatever you need. But we do this thing on the podcast. Last words, last thoughts. Anybody listening and watching, what's your guys' word of encouragement, whether they want to start a business or family issues, work issues, life, anything good or bad. What do you guys feel like is your last word, to say?
Oh gosh, man.
Pull that mic closer. I want to hear you make sure.
Last word. Wow. I would say, after you think about it, you look through it, and you realize, man, that's it. You gotta do it. You just gotta do it. It's a hard step to do, and and if it's something that is in your heart and your passion, people will succeed just with pushing that along. That's all I can say.
Well,
Because we were just happy to sell a few pizzas, and now it's just like, wow, okay, here we go. And I can't. I mean, I thought about it for way too long. We should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you regret that, or are you good with that?
No, I think it's a blessing. I think it all happened timely. Yeah, because
God gets all the glory. You know that.
Yeah. God, I mean, he had his place. COVID happened. We were sitting there. We look at our kids. We're like, they're big enough. We can do this, and it'll help them. So then we took the jump. And we did it. Perfect timing it was.
People were surprised too. I think they were like, you guys are going to do what? You're going to go what? Do sell pizzas? What? Because I had my career. He had his thing going on. And they're like, my brother-in-law told us, he's like, it's crazy that you guys are like stepping out of your wheelhouse to go and do this. I like that you guys are willing to, go and do something else. And that's encouraging. And I think people should try. Like, don't just get stuck in that wheel. Like, try something else. It's okay. It's okay to change careers. It's okay to try something else in your life. Life is short. And if it's something you love, go for it. And don't worry about what other people think or what they're going to say or pride or anything like that. Just, go for it. And the most important thing in this world is family. And as long as you put God first in your life and you let him lead you, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
And if you fail, it's okay too.
Yeah, that's real. That's
know?
good. What about you, my man? What's your last word, last stop? People listening and watching.
Well, I want people to know that no matter how hard the challenge, no matter how hard the challenges are gonna be, no matter how difficult and draining it will be, if it means that if it's worth it to you, and if it means a lot, keep doing it, because if you really believe in yourself, and if you really like put faith in God and believe that you could do it, then do it. Life is short, like my mom said. Life is short. So if you got something planned for you, if God has some plan, do it, because you might not get that chance later.
That's real. Man, my man, we're going to take an offering in a little bit. My man was reaching right now. Man, that boy dropped the mic.
I was kind of nervous because I didn't want to repeat what I said.
You're good. That was perfect, bro. You did a good job. Don't worry about it. You're good, man. What about you, Beth? I know we haven't been talking, you've been working, but what about you?
No, it's so great meeting you guys. I know we saw you guys out there a while back, and we've been looking forward to this day. It just had so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
having us.
Love your guys' story. Love your family. I think we're family now. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. You guys, I mean, listening, watching, man, support these guys. Seriously, find them, look them up, search them up on social media. We're going to have them in the description below. We're going to be tagging this all over social media. You know, let's get these guys some business. My goal would be, let's get these guys quitting their day job to do this. You know, what a dope way to make your living, man. Making and baking pies, man, the next level, you know. And again, that's what's so important about supporting local family businesses, you know. And again, we get so wrapped up on the Best Buys, the Amazons, you know, and all these other, you know, big chain markets, and it's like we forget the local. And I never want to be guilty of that. And it's like sometimes like, well, they're expensive or they're this, you know, I can get it cheaper over here. That's not the point.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that still, you know. And again, so I can't say, hey, do this if I'm not. So I got to do my best to say, you know what, I got to, you know, be a man of my word and say I'm gonna support you guys. So I want to do everything I can to support local businesses and families. Family-run businesses is what's more important. Like House of Pendragon in Sanger.
Yeah.
Tommy and Nora, beautiful family. Guys just put in their hearts and souls in it, and their kids are there at the brewery. They're helping, cleaning, doing the work. You know, Nora's doing all to me, that's what's
awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they go and to me, that's what I want to support, continue to support, and you guys have it. You know, so thank you guys for your time. Thank you for bringing
Appreciate
your
it.
guys'. I know, because again, it's a mission to come from Clovis or go from Madera to Clovis to Madera. You know, especially at this time, it's like dark. You know, like at 3 p.m. It's like it's horrible in the valley. But thank you guys. You know, you got our support. You guys listen and watching, man. Follow these guys, support them. Seriously, find them and go buy their pizzas. Buy the new Still Here podcast pizza coming out.
Podcast
2023 podcast pie. So I love you guys. Stay tuned for season. More episodes coming this season. I'm super excited. Again, this is what we're gonna do. You guys got my story. You guys got their stories, and so many other stories coming your way. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.